90DF Shekinah Garner gets emotional about volunteer trip. 90 Day Fiance star, Shekinah Garner, has gotten emotional about a volunteer trip she took. Fans loved seeing this side of her as it is not one they have gotten to see yet. Shekinah is currently with Sarper Guven. Fans know her from 90 Day Fiance, The Other Way. Keep reading to find out more about this trip. Shekinah Garner and Sarper Guven grow on fans. Shekinah Garner and Sarper Guven used to be one of the not-liked couples. However, after the last season of 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, they grew on viewers. Fans watched their relationship grow and mature while Shekinah was in Turkey. Sarper is even in the United States to be with Shekinah now. Sarper is known for his insane body count. However, he smashed his past to show Shekinah he was only committed to her. During the tell-all, Sarper showed a lot of maturity that viewers have not seen from him in the past. Now he is a personal trainer in Los Angeles. Shekinah Garner and Sarper Guven from 90 Day Fiancé, TLC, sourced from TLC YouTube. She gets emotional over volunteer trip. Shekinah Garner went on a volunteer trip to Cambodia. However, it was a long time ago. Now she is getting emotional about the trip and shared her experience with fans on Instagram. I went to Cambodia, alone, after seeing a documentary about the orphanages there, and how destitute and desperate some of them were for volunteers. I could have gone through an organization but chose to contact an orphanage directly in Siam Reap and go by myself. I slept on a grass mat on a dirt floor and ate rice 3 times a day while teaching basic English and caring for the children, many of whom were HIV positive. I was able to raise $13,000 while there through emails sent to my mom of my experience and the needs I witnessed. She shared those emails, and those she shared them with others, garnering enough support to buy medications, school supplies, food, and clothing for the kids. Shekinah then went on to say how she wished she could go back. However, she could not do it again, but she is thankful she did it back then. It seems as though Shekinah is reminiscing on her trip to Cambodia. Fans were shocked to see that she did this. However, it was a long time ago. Fans are wondering if she would do something like this again in the future. Shekinah had the best time in Cambodia and misses what she was doing. What do you think about her volunteer trip? Are you shocked she did this? Sound off in the comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts on this. Shekinah Garner says she's poor, asks for help to buy a new house. Shekinah Garner is speaking out after she was put on blast for her living conditions. As Monsters and critics recently reported, Shekinah faced intense backlash after Sunday's episode of 90 Day Fiancé. In the episode, her fiancé, Sarper Guven, arrives in America, and Shekinah shows him his new living quarters. While Sarper was excited about his new life in the States, he was far less enthused about Shekinah's cramped home where she conducts services for her aesthetics business. Shekinah came under fire for servicing her clients in her cramped kitchen, which left little to no space for Sarper. Additionally, she forced Sarper to leave their home while she was working and did not allow him to cook any food in the kitchen. Following the episode, Shekinah conducted a Q&A in her Instagram story. Shekinah says she lives in a shoebox because she's poor. One of her followers called her out for living in such a tiny home, and Shekinah had a succinct response. "Why not buy a house instead of living in a shoebox?" asked the Instagram user. Shekinah responded with a video of herself walking through a parking garage, sipping on a drink as she filmed herself. In another Instagram story slide, Shekinah hinted that she may be experiencing a loss of cash flow due to her frequent traveling. She shared that she has lost a lot of clients due to being in Turkey so much over the past few years, likely while visiting Sarper before he came to America on his K-1 visa. Is Shekinah really poor? Whether or not Shekinah genuinely is poor is up for debate. For starters, the TLC personality has spent a small fortune on altering her appearance. She has admitted to having multiple surgeries, including breast augmentation, facelifts, nose jobs, neck lifts, fat transfer, and Botox and filler injections. Going under the knife and the needle is no cheap habit, so Shekinah obviously doesn't strike 90 Day Fiancé fans as poor. In addition, her work as an esthetician seems to be a profitable business. Shekinah charges a pretty penny for her services, including virtual consultations, dermaplaning, brow lamination, and facials, which range between $75 and $350 per service. The LA-based esthetician also earns money selling cleansers, serums, facial mists, moisturizers, eye and lip care products, facial devices, and more. Shekinah also earns a buck teaching online master courses at $420 a pop. The mom of one touts her services on her website, advertising her 20 years of experience as a licensed esthetician. In addition to working as an esthetician, Shekinah is also a makeup artist and certified airbrush artist. Her work as a makeup artist has earned her a perfect 5-star review on Yelp, where her clients gush over her exceptional work. Does Shekinah really work out of her home? Interestingly, per her IMDb bio, Shekinah practices as an esthetician at the historic Beverly Hilton. So, could that mean Shekinah's in-home business was all for show? Or does the 90 Day Fiance star work both out of her home and at the Beverly Hilton? Either way, the idea of Shekinah working out of her LA home has irked 90 Day Fiance viewers and her fiancé, Sarper, alike. Poor? Come on now. If you were poor, you wouldn't have had all the cosmetic surgery and traveled back and forth to Turkey so many times. You don't know what poor is. Worry about paying rent and where you're going to get food from, that's poor. You're just trying to scam people into sending you money. You are very far from poor. I think it is crazy that she thinks people should help her financially. Where did she get the money for all her cosmetic surgeries, and what about the cost of her flying to see Harper all the time? She needs to see a financial planner and start working more. Shame on you saying that you are poor. You look like a freak. The way you treat your boyfriend is shameful. Kind of makes us all see Sarper as a bit of a victim that was scammed by the American, no? I kind of see him in a totally different light now that we've met his family and we've seen that he may be an alpha male, but his family is everything to him and they feel the very same way about him. He lived a racy life in his country standards, but here you're lying to yourself if you think that. What this show is portraying him as is not a total crappy boyfriend that any girl would experience here. His culture is vastly different and there is a lot loved in translation, and you can see it in this season with his beautiful family. Shekinah is the loser in this relationship and this show is not portraying the real her. This buy me a house thing because I'm poor is just the tip of her iceberg. Wow. 90 Day Fiancé, Shekinah Garner and Imani Jalassi are enemies now, the drama explained. Shekinah Garner and Imani Jalassi from 90 Day Fiancé are the latest cast members feuding in the franchise, but what really happened between them? Imani is part of the franchise's first ever throuple in 90 Day Fiancé Season 11, living in San Diego with her husband, Matt, and their girlfriend Annie from Mexico. Originally from Tunisia, she moved to the US at 18, speaks 4 languages, and built a career in tech by working for companies like Google, while also founding her own real estate LLC. Imani identifies as bisexual and has been navigating the challenges of polyamory with Matt. Immigration logistics, trust issues, and jealousy became part of Imani and Matt's relationship as they attempted to bring Annie to the US. Meanwhile, Shekinah is an esthetician who appeared on The Other Way and later on Season 11. She has over 20 years of experience in skincare and runs her own beauty studio. Raised in a conservative environment, Shekinah later embraced a more modern lifestyle. She met Sarper Güven while on vacation in Turkey, and their intense relationship quickly became a central storyline. Their journey features challenges around control, trust, and appearance as they try to build a life together. Imani warned Shekinah about the tell-all. When Imani walked in on set, feeling cold thanks to the New York weather, the producer asked her if she had a bit of work done. They wanted to know if she was comfortable sharing the details. Imani revealed that she had done a couple of surgeries. She had gotten a BBL done along with a nose job. Imani admitted that she had felt the pressure to go do all the surgeries so she could fit into the box that society created. However, Imani also added that in the process of doing so, she lost pieces of herself. Imani was heard telling her husband about her tell-all strategy. She was not going to spare anyone who would criticize her at the reunion. As Sarper and Shekinah walked up to the group of cast members that Imani and Matt were a part of, Shekinah visibly ignored Imani, who was right next to her, and walked up to Mark Bassett to say hi. She then turned her attention to Matt and again ignored Imani. This time, Imani tried to strike up a conversation with Shekinah by asking her, "Wait, did they tell you I'm also wearing green?" Shekinah said no and added that it was fine, since they were different shades of green. Meanwhile, a producer asked Imani about the tension between the two cast members had between them. Imani revealed that she'd proactively tried to reach out to Shekinah to try and build a friendship. However, Shekinah gave her brief, one-word replies. Imani figured that Shekinah didn't want to talk to her, but she couldn't understand why. "So yeah, bring it," she warned the cameras.